Hi, thank you so much for participating with the Lily Mae Francis interview on self-discovery journeys. I am Lynn Collins Mae, co-founder of the Lily Mae Francis Foundation. And if you can introduce yourself by telling me your name, your age, and where you reside.
Hi, I'm Carmela Duffy. I'm 21 years old and I reside in Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay. Thank you so much for again for agreeing to participate, Carmela. I just want to tell our viewers that you've chosen to be off camera today, and then for future interviews, you may want to come off camera. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into the questions. How do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
how do you identify?
I identify as a trans woman, so my pronouns are she, her, and hers.
Okay. And what age did you discover this?
I discovered I wanted to be trans at the age of 18.
18. Okay. And you're
Yes,
21
ma'am.
now. So just recently, basically.
Yes, recently, yeah. When you say 3 years, it still sounds fresh.
Yeah. Okay. And so have you come out to your family? And if so, what age did you come out?
Coming out as trans, it was recently, so about 9 to 10 months ago.
Hmm. Wow. Okay.
Um, Actually, I started my hormone therapy about 10 months ago, but I've been started going by the she, her, hers pronoun and started calling myself a woman 3 years ago.
3 years.
Because, yes, ma'am, because that fitted my, it just, how can I explain? It fitted me so well. And it's like I'm supposed to be this person. And so once I started getting into me wanting to, cross dress and things, that's, all of that.
Okay. So I'm going to circle back to that um, response, but I first want to know, how did your family respond?
My family responded, responded not how I wanted them to. When I told my close family about me coming out, it was really like a brush off thing. Like they accepted me for who I was always, but they never could respect that I was a trans woman. And when I say that, that means calling me by my preferred name and also my pronouns and also accepting those changes. They seem to have a hard time doing that. And that's what all my family. And so we're working on that and we're getting there. It's just not there yet.
Okay. And so, and this was, you said it was a recent change. So let's dig into that a little bit. You said for the last 3 years you have become aware of it. Or did you feel
Yes.
it when you were younger, but you just didn't know what you were feeling? Can you give me a little bit more context as it pertains to that?
Okay, I know I'm kind of sounding a little confusing, but first I didn't start my transition here. I started my transition in another city and state. So that's why it really didn't affect my family because I wasn't physically there. Um
So they
I'm
didn't
sorry, what was
they didn't actually
right.
see the change.
Right. They just heard it over the phone or through social media or other platforms like that. But yes, it took me to move 14 hours away to Rochester, New York to find myself, to discover that I want to be a trans woman, to know that this is who I really am.
Mhm. And
Like
so
this is me.
when you say that you've discovered this 3 years ago, at no point younger in your life did you not think, you know what, I feel more like a girl than a boy?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay. And that's what I was thinking, that I would think that that probably starts younger, right? Maybe not necessarily knowing for sure what it is.
It automatically starts younger when you have feminine ways and start doing things that's naturally a girl would do. You try to stop it or you try to not do it, but that's just naturally how it is.
Naturally who you are. Right. So when you
Right.
say things that a girl would do, are we talking makeup? We talking playing with dolls? Are we talking,
Well, first it started younger when I was in heels, but I was still a kid, so I didn't know what I was doing. But I was so infatuated with heels, so I would go. Um, when I'm around my stepmother, I would go and walk in her heels or whatnot, and just um live it up in my heels. After that, it started with it started with me wanting to wear like tighter clothing that fitted me. And after that, it started with the image, like me actually dressing and feeling comfortable. And how I know I was in the wrong bodies because when I first started cross dressing, it wasn't a surprise to me. It was a natural thing. Like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to look like this.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm supposed to look this way.
Okay.
It didn't come off as a shock, or it would do as the person that's just dressing up for the first time in their life and it's just a shock. No, it was like a, okay, boom, I did this and this is supposed to happen.
Okay. And did seeing more trans people on television and
Mm.
in communities, did that help at all to make you understand what you were feeling?
Yes, man, because I always know I wanted to be a trans, but when I actually got around the trans community, um, it was an experience, I must say. It was really an experience. And so that really just gave me like the to actually start my transition and get the ball rolling with that.
Experience meaning feeling at home?
Yes, actually feeling the love and also the support that the community gives.
Okay. And so I want to step into the actual part of transitioning because I don't know much and I'm hoping that you can educate me today. So I know
Yes, ma'am.
you said something about hormone therapy. Is that the first step that a person would take when transitioning?
Yes, that's usually where they start is the hormone therapy. You have some that's not with hormone therapy and that still go by trends and things like that. And the looks just looks like they're on hormones, but they're not. It all depends on the person and their beliefs. But yes, that's in my knowledge the start of transitioning.
And
Um,
I hope this isn't too personal. You tell me if it is. But what do the hormones do actually?
okay, the hormones they let me make sure they're okay. You have many different things that the hormone does to your body. One of them is breast growth. It
Okay.
grows your breast like a cup or two,
Hmm.
but it all depends on how long you be on hormones. If the longer you be on them, the bigger your breasts grow. Another thing is facial. Your facial hair reduces. If not, it stops completely growing or it reduces a lot.
Okay.
That's where the testosterone blockers come in. They block that. So you take that with the hormone therapy. That's a part of therapy is T blockers, we call them. Also, it widens your hips.
Really?
It puts weight in the right areas.
Okay.
Um, Also, it gets deep into like your body. It starts to smell like a different smell. It starts to smell like more of like a feminine smell.
Hmm.
Um, what else? In your skin, in your hair, it makes it softer,
Wow.
and just make sure your area is more softer, not so you know not so strong and bulky and all of those things.
So how long does the entire process of transitioning last? How long does it take?
It lasts however you want it to last, how long you want it to last.
No, I mean, how
But
long does it take to completely be finished, I guess, or is it just an ongoing process for the rest of your life? You just take these
it
hormones.
Yes, that's the ongoing process. You can stop the hormones from you can stop taking the hormones. I'm sorry,
Okay. Okay.
but there are changes that's going to permanently stay in your body that the hormones are doing. So even if you are on or off of uh if you are on or off of hormones,
Okay.
your breast is still going to grow. You're still capable of getting I forgot what it was. Something with your oh it's a health issue that you can still get that health issue or and
Okay.
things like that. So there are downfalls with hormone therapy
They're at risk. Okay.
dealing with health problems. Yes, I'm just not for sure which one it was, but yes, there are.
And I don't know if you know the answer to this, but so you mentioned that the hormones create breast and widen the hips. So the reason that people have surgery is to remove the bottom part that they had and replace with
Mhm.
the bottom.
Yeah, so they could be more comfortable with their gender that they're identifying as.
Okay. And so once that,
Usually, in my
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Usually in my book that completes the transition, but some people still go.
Some people still what?
I'm sorry. Some people still be on hormones, but others don't think that they should be on it once they get the surgery. That just completes the transition for them.
Okay, because the breasts are already there and they're not going to go anywhere once you, even if you stop taking the hormones.
Yes, ma'am. They're still going to continually grow.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. All
Yes,
right. And
ma'am.
so are you out at work? Like what is your experience at work like? Do people know that you are a trans woman or is assumption that you're just, a woman, born woman?
Yes, ma'am. People do know that I'm a trans woman. Yes, all of
Okay.
them do.
Okay. And what impact, if any, do you think that this whole entire process plays on your mental health?
It plays a big part. It plays a big part because it's like a constant reminder. Like some people will automatically see me as a female, but some won't, and they will automatically address me as a male. And I have to go and correct them and tell them, no, this is me. I'm a female. And also, I get called by my biological name a lot, not my preferred name. So it's like a lot of things that we deal with on a daily. It's just like a constant reminder thing, and it puts you in a place where ugh, like this is just too much in a way. But it's all worth it, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure. You have to be your
Yes,
authentic self, your true self, for sure.
yes, ma'am.
Must do that for yourself. So I want to talk about the experience with the LGBTQ plus community. You mentioned a little bit that other trans women or men have, made you feel at home and as family and comfortable with yourself. What about the rest of the community? What is your experience like with them?
Um, I really try not to. I'm not gonna say I don't care about the community, but I really try not to focus on the other part of the community because there's just so much that I wanted to do with my community and my my trans people. But I do look into the community and see what's going on social media and things like that. So I do try to keep up
Okay.
with it, but not as much as I do with the trans community.
Okay. And in the trans community, I guess so, and again, this is from for me not really knowing. Um, a trans woman, would you consider yourself gay?
No, you will consider yourself a heterosexual woman.
Okay. And is that just a personal choice for you or that's typical for trans women and men?
That's typical for trans women and men because they identify as the sex. So if they're dating the opposite sex, that would make them heterosexual. Even if they did have the same part and dating someone with the same part, they would still consider that heterosexual. because they're a woman, they're the opposite gender, and they're dating a man. So it's like a man and a woman that are dating,
Okay.
how it should be. But just so happen they're trans.
Hmm.
So they consider themselves heterosexual. And also you have some that don't, you have some that's in the community that says dating a trans that makes the person gay. But me, honestly, I would say no, that would make you a heterosexual woman because you're a trans woman dating a heterosexual man.
Right.
But it could go both ways.
Hmm.
Well, too. So
Okay. And do you openly share that information with with potential people that you would like to date?
I tell them I'm trans. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, I have to because my looks give female too much sometimes. So
You want to make sure that they know and they're comfortable with
right,
having
and
all the
another
information.
right, and another thing I have to face is just me going out and I get those looks like, is that a man or is that a woman? But it doesn't phase me. I just know those looks when I see it. I'm just like, oh gosh. And most people they address me by the right gender, and some don't. But I just remind them. So
Yeah. And
it's,
that's, and I'm sure that's hard. I think that I wonder, and I don't know because I don't live your experience, but I just wonder if most people want to be correct and they just don't know what is correct. Or are people just being mean and being incorrect on purpose? I'm sure there's probably, people on both sides of that, but
yes, it's both. It's both.
okay.
That's just something that, as us being trans, that we're just gonna have to deal with because we can't change people's mind or make them. It's either you accept us or you don't. You love
Mhm.
us or you don't. And yeah, because at the end of the day, we battle and go through so much, and we expect our families to be there for us, and they're just transphobic, and we just can't deal with that.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just a lot with that.
And actually piggybacking on that, what you're saying, what do you think would make it an easier topic to discuss with families or just people in general so that people kind of get a better understanding? Because I think most of the time it's just about fear and lack of knowledge, right? And I think that if people are given the information, they have all the information and they know what to do, what to say, how to act, they probably would do better, right? When you know better, you do better, typically. So, what do you think would make it an easier topic or conversation for families to have so that it's not such a shock and they don't respond as badly as typical people?
I would suggest I would probably just start and try to explain how it started or why I wanted to be that way. That's the only thing I could think about because there's nothing else I can say if I constantly go to them and tell them that I'm this name and I'm this gender, or even before I was going by that name before I even transitioned. So yeah, it's just something that they just gonna have to accept or don't. I feel like there's nothing I could like go to them and say that would change their mind about that situation or specific topic.
Do you think that having programs in schools for kids, I guess, would make it an easier topic for families to have? So, meaning that if it were discussed at school, like, regular topics like families look different, parents look different, right? That it's explained early on, people would have a better understanding and maybe be more receptive to it.
That topic it goes both ways as well because yes, they would because it's being taught in school and they would have more knowledge and things like that. But then again, they don't have to accept that. It's either they do accept it or they don't. But then again, some you have that's just gonna automatically target the community on social media automatically because it's in school or they child went home and told their parent, "Oh, guess what we learned today in class," and tell them that. Then they automatically get on social media and target us. So it goes both ways. Some will understand, So when they see a trans person, they will just automatically know, okay, this is what she go by, or this is what he go by, this is her name, or this is his name. They will know.
Mhm. Okay. Well, my one last question that I do have is, have you encountered any type of situation that you thought you were in that became dangerous because of you being a trans woman?
No, no, ma'am.
Okay. No more
I
than
have,
what most women face when we're alone, at night. No more than that.
yeah, I haven't came across that. No.
Okay. All right. Are there any questions that you thought that I would ask that I haven't, or anything else that you want to share before we end our interview?
Let me think. Not that I can think of. No, ma'am.
Is there any advice, I guess, that you can offer to another person that's struggling with making the decision of becoming trans woman or male that you would give?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please advise them, or please do your research before you start their therapy. Um, because it does a lot to your mental. It makes you very emotional. So you just deal with a lot of emotions every day. And so when you go to your doctor, just ask them about which therapy to start off first, and they're gonna give you the best one for you because you have three different types of ways you can inject the hormones. Just either you have a patch, you have a pill, and you also have a the needle itself. So those they all work the same, but not as quickly as the other. So just ask your doctor as many questions as you want about the hormone therapy, because once you're on it and it starts to kick in and do what it's supposed to do, some people might can't handle it, honestly. And so they might need to go seek help from mental health counselor or doctor or anything like that.
Okay. I think that's great advice. Well, Carmela, that's all I actually had. I want to thank you for taking the time to spend with me and share your experience. I hope that we can circle back at some point and do a follow up part two to our interview, if that's okay.
Yes, ma'am, and thank you so much. And I do apologize for the wait. It's just been a lot going on. I know we've been supposed to do this interview Pride Month.
No
Jesus.
worries. I'm just glad to finally meet you and get a chance to hear your story. So thank you
Yes,
so much.
ma'am.
And you
And
have a
also, we should do
yeah.
another interview with face to face so I can actually get more comfortable because I don't
Okay.
have my, so I'm not as encouraging as I want to be.
Okay.
So we should
Just
do
reach
another.
out to me whenever you're ready, and I will definitely we'll jump in and do a part two. I would love to.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Miss Lynn, for
Thank
having
you.
me.
You
All
have a
right,
good
have a
day.
nice
Bye.